What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Brand New, and honey, I am back in the building. Listen. This time, honey, I am back for a recap of Bell Collective. This is for season 4, episode 1. I don't plan, you guys, on reviewing Real Housewives of Potomac anymore. Okay? I'm just really not that into the show. Like, if stuff begins to happen on the show, I may do some separate commentary on it, but to review every episode, I don't like the show like that. I may still review the reunions, okay? But I will review Real Housewives of Potomac on more of a as-needed basis. So I have dropped that show. Bell Collective is back. I love Bell Collective way more than Real Housewives of Potomac. The episode starts out with Tambra and what is this nigga's name? Okay, so his name is Damon. They see the ultrasound together. Tambra was born on September 8th. That's one of my ex's birthdays. Okay, yes. Virgo. But, I don't like Tambra, though, you guys. I cannot stand her voice. She is so irritating. She's a high-risk pregnancy, not because of her age, but because she had 39 fibroids removed. The doctor tells her she will not be able to have a vaginal birth. She will have to have a C-section. I had a vaginal birth. Did y'all have a vaginal birth? Put it in the comments, honey. Okay, inquiring minds, honey, want to know. I recently had to have polyps removed. I just had surgery removing 39 fibroids. Tamara says she had a moment where she actually thought about removing her entire uterus. Wow, that just seems like a lot for somebody to have to deal with. She's not my favorite character on the show, but my heart does. It goes out to her. So hopefully, she delivers a healthy baby and has a healthy pregnancy as much as she can. I'm just real confused on her damn relationship with him. Because how the hell did we get from, didn't she want the man to move out? And then it's like you end up getting pregnant. Are y'all getting married? Like, what is going on? Okay, make it make sense. God is not the author of confusion. And Miss Robinson is confused about how Tambra really feels about this man. Because we all know, honey, you ain't gotta love a man to have a baby with him. I mean, I'm just saying, I recommend you love him. I think it comes out a lot better when you love him. But I don't know. I'm just kind of, I'm kind of confused about them. The doctor also tells her if she begins to have severe pain, heavy bleeding, she needs someone to look at her and evaluate her quickly, swiftly, and professionally. So next we got Letitia and So Gucci. They are out shopping for boots. Letitia is confused about why they are there. They are there to pick out boots for the rodeo that So Gucci is inviting all the girls to. I love So Gucci's outfit. She looks so cute in that green. Child, Letitia is checking out the cowboy, honey, that is helping them shop for their boots. Letitia, girl, if you had any damn sense, you would be leaving with that cowboy, okay? Drop that zero Glenn and get you a hero, okay? A hero. I can't even get the words out, okay? I just can't believe, Letitia, you still with that raggedy ass, punk ass man. She gets to talking about how Cliff has been influencing Glenn. Glenn a fool by his damn self. It ain't even just Cliff that's influencing him. He a fool by himself. So we not gonna use Cliff as the reason for why your man acts a fool on this show. Okay, they both two fools. They're both disrespectful and abusive to you and Latrice. And I wish we could start talking with some transparency at the reunion about how these women are treated in these marriages. I don't want to hear all this antiquated talk about, well, I'm just being a man and I gotta handle my woman the way she gotta be handled, and I get to cheat and lie and screw anybody I want, but she better be so faithful. And I don't want to hear that shit at the reunion. I feel like Carlos needs to start keeping these niggas honest on these shows, especially with how they treat their wives. Honey, that cowboy is all right, honey, okay? Letitia talking about save a horse, ride a cowboy. If you had any damn sense, you would have already did that. Okay, you another damn fool. You can't be monogamous to an unfaithful nigga. Okay, they really go act a fool. Okay, so as soon as he open a relationship or marriage up, you open it up too, even wider. Okay? Had that nigga sitting at the house before he even get home from work. Okay? Throw their ass off. It's all about the element of surprise when you dealing with these niggas. That's what get them every time. When you do some shit they wasn't expecting. Okay? They get to talking about Letitia's brunch, and Gucci mentions that she didn't care for a couple of the panelists that, spoke out. Gucci said, honey, she's talking about Latrice, because she was like, when I looked at her, I didn't know if this was a brunch or a barbecue. Yeah, the girl is, unhappy in her abusive, toxic marriage, so she going around getting liquored up, just to cope with life. It's very interesting that she's on this interview that they played on the show where she's saying these women are not her real friends. No, they are not here to uphold that abusive, toxic ass marriage that you are involved with. Okay? So, Latrice has always, you guys, been super immature to me. I can't deal with her. She lacks accountability, like Letitia said at the end of the episode, but we will get there. So Gucci mentions in her confessional that all the brunch participants are talking about Latrice and how she showed out at the brunch. Gucci says that Latrice embarrassed Letitia and, she embarrassed herself, and that's bad for business. And I agree. Gucci mentions to Letitia she feels like she lets Latrice get away with a lot of stuff. Yeah, she makes a lot of excuses for her. But the thing of it is both of them have a commonality. They're both in abusive marriages. Okay? Letitia says that she appreciates Gucci for her feedback. She has heard from a lot of people that they were offended by Latrice saying the F word several times, and her, her disdain for 9-to-5 workers, and, just acting like being an entrepreneur is just so much better. And yeah. Letitia says she feels like Latrice's actions have a reflection on her. Well, yeah, what Latrice did was wrong, Letitia, but your marriage to Glenn is bad for business too. Because you can't really empower anybody until you empower yourself to get out of your toxic ass marriage. So that's what I'm saying with Letitia. It's like she has been allowing Latrice to get away with stuff because it hits too close to home. What she sees in Latrice is within her. Now, don't get me wrong. I like Letitia more. I feel like she's more mature, but at the same time, you are in a toxic marriage too. And that's my issue with Carlos. It's like, when are we going to have a real honest conversation with Letitia down to the reunion about why she's still with Glenn, putting up with his bullshiggity? Okay, because it's not just Latrice that's in this bad marriage. Okay? Okay, so next we got Marie and Essie. They are hosting a lupus gala. They are sponsoring the event. They both suffer from lupus, which is a autoimmune disease. It's basically when your immune system attacks itself. Tisha is teaming up with Essie and Marie to find properties to renovate to turn into assisted living properties for him and Dave. Tisha has already found one property, and she comes by Marie's office to propose another property that she wants them to check out. Marie says the contractor they have been working with has fulfilled all of their needs. Letitia says she's been on him too. She is proposing a second location. She wants Essie and Marie to look at it first before she takes it to the contractor. So they all get to talking about So Gucci's rodeo that she is inviting all the girls to. They are all excited about going. Letitia says she doesn't know where she stands with Tambra and Latrice. Essie says she's been fasting from social media. And Essie also mentioned she saw an interview with Latrice. And Latrice says that she's not friends with anybody on the show. They are just co-workers. And then Letitia's like, what? And so she tells Essie to play the interview. So they play the interview. So after Letitia hears that, she gets in her feelings. And I feel like Latrice is just saying that because they won't uphold her bullshit. Her being in that toxic marriage with Cliff, he has isolated her and alienated her, I feel, from the girls. That's what a lot of abusers do because they don't want you to get enough strength and courage to leave them. Why do y'all think that Glenn has such a problem with Marie? Because Marie is a threat to Glenn because he knows that, guess what? Marie can get Letitia an apartment like that and leave his ass and be done with him. And that's what she needs to do. I feel like she keeps crap fitting. And crap fitting, you guys, is when you are in a toxic relationship or marriage and you literally adjust and adapt yourself to that particular relationship or marriage. Just to say you have a man or a woman on your arm. So that means you will put up with, these type of circumstances that Glendale then put Letitia through, which is, almost getting another woman pregnant. See, that's crap fitting. That's you putting up with crap, adjusting and adapting your standards to the first floor. Okay, the first floor is real, you guys. I don't just be singing that for no reason. You could be a bad bitch. You could be a speaker. You could be an entrepreneur. You could be all those things. Look at Keke Palmer. But once you get with the wrong man, he can ruin all of that. And then it begins to all chip at your self-esteem. All of the abuse and disrespect. It starts to gaslight you. It makes you question and doubt yourself. You're always going through some type of chaotic low or, there's a lot of highs and lows in a relationship. It's a lot of trauma bonding going on, and it's not worth it, right? To deal with men like that. Your man should uplift you. He should support you. He should keep his penis within your household. But I notice on a lot of these shows with Carlos King, where he's involved, there's a lot of macho men, a lot of sexist men where they feel like, yeah, I can cheat on my wife. I pay all the bills. Yeah, I can cheat on her and disrespect her. She better not. Y'all saw how Glenn acted when Letitia was around strippers. Meanwhile, he been out here having raw sex with other women. So, yeah, ladies, if you are in a situation like that, you need to leave it. I don't care how much you love that man. And a lot of us as women, I know we always say don't get involved in other people's relationships, but if you feel like something has the potential to murder your friend's spirit, don't be afraid to speak up. Okay, I have lost many classmates from domestic abuse. I've known several women, that have been through emotional abuse. And it's no joke. You could be a strong woman all day, but that shit, after a while, it takes a toll on you. It keeps you from progressing in life. Marie tells Leticia she is blind when it comes to Latrice. Marie feels like Latrice has some type of hold on Leticia. It's not a hold. They have a trauma bond in a sense, and you don't have to get abused by the person for you all to trauma bond. It's literally what the word is. You guys have trauma and you bond. I was with a man and we trauma bonded before, anything negative really happened in our relationship. We bonded over past experiences, past hurts and pains that we went through. And trauma bonding is real because you don't really get to know the person, right? You just have this connection due to similar hurt and pain that both of you all have been through. Okay, so that's how a lot of relationships can start. You all may know the same people, that you all may have gotten screwed over by the same people. And so y'all come together and you bond over your commonalities, over different similarities, you all may share. With Latrice and Leticia, they are bonding, little do they know, over these men abusing them and disrespecting them, right? And I really think that Leticia may feel like, yeah, my marriage is better than Latrice's because I'm not being physically hit. But Glenn has been emotionally abusing you for years when he's not supportive of you, when he's not happy for all of the progress you have made with your career. Your finances are going up, up, up. He should be proud of that. But instead, he's jealous. He feels like he's not good enough to be in your world. That's how a lot of these insecure men are. They can have a nice career. They can have a nice car, nice place to stay. But when a man is frightened, okay, when he is insecure, he will act a fool. And if you notice, Big Willie, which is, what's the girl, Aikisha's husband, he doesn't seem to have any toxic traits about him, and neither does JJ. I really like JJ. JJ is very jovial, very fun, very comedic, with his jokes, and always wants to make people smile and laugh. That's a very positive man. Gucci has a good man. And so does Aikisha. If you look at the rest of the guys, you can kind of see the toxicity in Glenn, in Cliff. Okay? And so on and so forth. So Leticia says to Marie that she needs to have a talk with Latrice to figure out why, she calling her, of all people, just a coworker. So next we have, and before we get to that damn Marie had me cracking up. She was like, she jealous of you. She trying to use you. She's an opportunist. I agree with Marie. I feel like Latrice is being opportunistic when it comes to, Leticia. She feels like Leticia can help her with the public speaking. But I think that Latrice needs to come out of her pocket and hire somebody to do that, since Leticia is just a coworker. And Leticia knows how to naturally publicly speak. Some of this communicating, it comes naturally to certain people. And I don't get that with Latrice. Latrice needs to go to a professional, but she wants to go with, she want to use Letitia to help her. Okay? And Maria's right. A lot of people like to be like, oh, Marie just jealous. Maria hate her. No, Maria's right about Latrice. You may not like Marie, but she's telling the truth. Because you sitting up here talking about all these women, they don't mean shit to you. They just coworkers. So why you in this woman's office asking her to help you speak, in front of these cosmetology students? Like, why? She's just a coworker, right? So why don't you hire somebody? So yeah, I was with Marie, like, girl, she a snake, and I would be done with her. And Latrice, she's immature. She lacks accountability, and it's sad. So next we have Tambra and Latrice. They hang out. They get to talking about how Gucci came to Latrice's edge control event. Latrice says she hasn't done anything to Gucci. So you hanging out with her husband's ex-wife and talking shit about Gucci, that's not doing anything to Gucci? Okay. I told y'all, some of these ghetto ass women, honey, like them and their negativity, it's just a way of life for them. It's just par for the course, honey. It's just another day, honey. Okay. Latrice went to the doctor. She tells Tambra she has fibroids. She says that she's having sex with her husband every day, even twice a day. I said, girl, a lie don't care who tell it. Y'all know that nigga got the damn ED. His old ass is not putting in work like that. Girl, stop. Okay? And then, wasn't y'all having all these issues in y'all marriage? So we supposed to believe y'all just screwing like jackrabbits all of a sudden? Like, girl, bye. Stop it. I like, though, that Tambra was very comforting to Latrice, and she mentioned her fibroid journey. She didn't tell Latrice that she was pregnant, but I liked how supportive she was of Latrice, saying that, she's going to help her get through this. Tambra says that she is an advocate for fibroids, and she was contacted about a bill that puts millions of dollars in research for fibroids. It affects the African American community more than any other race. Tambra be having some cute ass hats. I love Tamra's hats, you guys. So next, honey, we are at the rodeo that So Gucci and JJ invited all the girls out to. God darn it, I miss JJ, honey, on my screen. JJ says, honey, he wants to put Big Willie on the bull since he used to play professional football. Latrice and Cliff, they arrive. Tamra, she then arrives. Latrice says she's never been to a rodeo show. Big Willie gets on the bull. Letitia comes in and she mentions that she's still mad at Latrice for acting out at her boss empowerment brunch. JJ, he begins dancing before they sit down. Tambra is watching all the animals and stuff. She feels like it's animal abuse for, how they are doing the animals. She's just like, is it even legal? Aikisha asks, JJ and Gucci, do y'all be tying each other up? Is that why we watching this damn thing? Glendale, honey, invites Cliff to sit right behind him and Letitia. It's like, are you in a codependent bromance with this man? Why you need him right behind you? Okay. Letitia mentions that Glenn just got back home. Girl, he shouldn't be back in your house, back in your bed. That's why he clowning and acting a fool. And he'll be a Chucky doll sooner than later, honey. Okay, you know how Glendale get down. Glenn tries feeding Letitia the popcorn. She refuses it. Was it me, or did it look like a Ike and Tina scene with the Eat This Cake anime? Like, that's what they was giving. JJ and Gucci, they end up inviting the Bells to have a drink. But yeah, honey, before then, Tisha, honey, she was not feeling Cliff being all up behind her. She does not like the influence that he is having on Glenn. You are already with a messed up, toxic man. So you need to realize that first, Letitia, before you blame Cliff. Cliff ain't making it no easier either. He's wrong too. He needs to stay out of y'all marriage. So they end up going to have that drink, right? So Willie tells JJ that his hat was on backwards. We have Letitia and Glenn. They come to the bar, and Marie comes too. She was running behind because she had to take her daughter to dance practice. Latrice comes in. Tambra comes in. Marie ignores Tambra and Latrice, and they all take a toast. Oh, did y'all hear Latrice when she was like, yeah, it's just me and my man and Tambra, and then it's just the rest of the bells? Girl, you let that man isolate you and alienate you from the group. Okay, and men, I told y'all, they will do that. That way they can further control you, okay? So Marie ends up saying to Glenn, it was kind of awkward the last time we was together. We saw her putting Glenn out of her apartment, and he didn't like that Marie got that apartment for Letitia because he don't want her to leave him. Glenn is funny. He was like, yeah, it was a little different. So Marie ends up saying, well, you know, Letitia is my girl. And Glenn was like, yeah, I know she your girl. I know that for a fact. Marie ends up getting on Glenn for always being on the phone with Cliff. And she mentioned something about him ordering for Cliff, and then I guess Glenn said, well, he know what I like. I didn't understand, was she talking to him or Letitia? I was a bit confused. But yeah, those two got a bromance going on. Little Brokeback Mountain action going on with them. So Maurice asks Glenn, well, what's the problem with me and Letitia's friendship? And then Glenn says, well, y'all friendship is different. Yeah, it's, you don't like the fact that she's speaking up to her friend, letting her friend know, you know, you need to leave this man. He's a jackass to you. You don't like that. Toxic people, they don't like boundaries. They don't like when your friends speak up and tell you to leave they sorry ass. They don't like that. They want to alienate you, isolate you, and further disrespect you, right? Letitia ends up saying, well, how so? How is our friendship different? And Glenn says, this lady was getting ready to get you a whole apartment away from me. Marie says she needed to move away from you because you didn't appreciate her. He still don't. He go be the Chucky doll that he has always been, honey. Just wait on it. And Marie says, it looked like to me you putting somebody else before your wife. Yeah, stop listening to this old ass nigga that's insecure. He over there controlling the young lady that he's with, honey, treating her like she his daughter. Don't talk about my daughter. Don't talk about my daughter like Shani, like. She talked about Shanice like Leo, like my kids. Like, don't talk about my kids. Oh, I love my kids. Oh. Marie said your wife should be number one, and then Glenn said I put her as number one, and Marie was like, I can't tell. So JJ calls Glenn, and then Glenn, this is his opportunity to avoid taking accountability and responsibility from Marie, so he goes to hang out with JJ and Cliff. Letitia says this is not what she wanted. She didn't want to be torn and in the middle between her friends and her husband. If you would leave that nigga already, you wouldn't have to be torn, okay? Shit. So last but not least, we we have this scene between Letitia and Latrice. Latrice goes by Letitia's office because she wants to use her so Letitia can help her with this speaking engagement she has at this college. But remember, she's just your coworker, right? So why don't you hire somebody else to help you? Girl, get your ass some flashcards, write down your bullet points, and keep it moving. Okay? Like, girl. And the problem with Latrice is you're trying to speak to women when really you should be speaking to the woman in the mirror and telling her to get the hell away from that old ass man that don't respect you, that don't honor you. He doesn't have the right to be bossy and controlling with you. I don't give a damn how old he is, you know? So that's why it's not coming natural, Latrice, because you still, before you speak to any women, you need to be speaking to the woman in the mirror. And that goes for Letitia too. Okay? Because guess what? Once you get yourself together, yourself, not yourself in this marriage, once you get yourself together and you break away from toxic people, toxic men that you are in relationship with, once you get them up out of your life, then speaking and empowering women will come natural. Okay? But it starts with you first. Your ass got to get drunk all the time just to make a damn point. You are crap fitting yourself in your marriage. You're putting up with crap. You are adjusting yourself to what? These low standards. Okay? Low expectations. You're trying to adjust yourself to some old ass man that don't respect you. He'll never respect you. He's set in his ways. You keep trying to make something work that needs to be broken apart. So Letitia tells Latrice she's been up to a lot, very busy with her speaking engagement. She's getting ready to head out of town on a few more speaking engagements. Latrice says she's happy for her. Latrice tells her about, the opportunity she has gotten to speak out at this college. And Letitia says that she's proud of her. So Letitia begins confronting Latrice about what she said on her panel, using the F word and dogging out the people that work a 9 to 5. Who said that? You did, girl. Is it me, or does Latrice kind of remind you of Portia a little bit? Just a little bit. Letitia lets Latrice know she offended a lot of people. But see, this is the thing with Latrice. And this is the problem with being inebriated all the time. You don't even recognize what you're saying. Okay? You're drunk. You done had a few drinks. And I get, people want to be social. But this was business, Latrice. This is business, and if this is something you plan on doing, I think you should do it sober. You can have a drink after you have accomplished your mission. That's how you do that. But to be drunk all the time and this child is going through a lot and she can't handle her liquor, no way. Do you see what I'm saying? Everybody can't take a shot. And I heard that she was doing a whole bunch of excessive drinking, right, at the brunch that Letitia had. So it's just girl, you was doing too much and you're not cognizant on how you was coming off because you was that drunk. And you're that drunk all the time because you're so unhappy in your marriage. So I think that Latrice, I want to see her in some type of therapy, and you need to figure out if you're trying to be with this man or not, because he's not going to change, and whatever you're dealing with, you're going to deal with for the rest of his in your life. So I think if she get rid of Cliff, you guys, I think that Latrice has a lot of potential and a lot of promise. But like I told y'all, all it take is for the wrong nigga to be in your life, sabotaging your life, chipping away at your self-esteem, putting you in lowest terms, gaslighting you, making you question and doubt your capabilities. Drop that man. You're a beautiful woman, Latrice. It's really sad, So Latrice says, I don't have anything against anybody with a 9 to 5. Both my mom and sister still have a 9 to 5. But like I said, it's the drinking. You sober now, and now you know how to say it and look at it. Do you see what I'm saying? But see, once you start drinking, right? And then as far as the cursing, when you at a speaking engagement, I just feel like you shouldn't curse. It's not the right environment for that. Now, if you turning up with the girls, that may be different. They know you, right? But cursing at a professional public event, I just wouldn't do it. What y'all think? Maybe y'all think a little bit differently than me, but how do y'all feel about that? Letitia says in her confessional that she feels like she doesn't want to be insulting women that work a 9 to 5. Those are the same women that she's trying to empower. True, but you need to empower yourself first. Because believe it or not, people are always looking at you and your personal life. And I told you all a long time ago. Low self-esteem shows up not in your business life. It shows up the most in your relationships, in your marriage. It's the shit that you putting up with. Yes, you're going to have hard times with whoever you get with, but when you begin to constantly, have all these highs and lows with a man, and you on this emotional roller coaster, and y'all constantly got to break up just to get back together. It's just like you need to chuck him the deuces. And then, she like to say, well, Glenn got abandonment issues. This is what I teach on this channel. I've been teaching this for the longest time, and I need y'all to get this. Stop giving a fuck about people that don't give a fuck about you. There is not a good prize that's going to be there for you in the Cracker Jack box. You're not going to get rewarded for being a martyr. You're not going to get rewarded by that man for what you can endure or put up with. Okay, we know what the people are saying, honey, out in these streets, that a lot of these men expect a woman to be a maid, a mule, a mattress. That is true in a lot of these toxic marriages and relationships. And at the end of the day, before you empower anybody, you have to empower yourself. I hate to keep, saying that, but it's just true. So, Letitia, yeah, you having these damn brunches and, the shit you say, it sounds good, but there's going to be women that's looking at your personal life like, yeah, I don't really want to hear from that bitch. Because that bitch over there putting up with a nigga that's, sticking his raw peen up in another woman and possibly getting a woman pregnant. And quiet as kept, a lot of women don't want to listen to women that have been out of the dating scene. And, it's like they always got something negative to say about somebody's relationship or marriage. Those type of women begin to fall on deaf ears. It's like you don't really want to hear from them because they're not even in the game, right? They're not even playing in the game, but they have all this advice and all this shit to say. So people get sick of that too. You just want to, watch how you are carrying yourself. And I really hope that Carlos keeps his cast honest at the reunion, because I feel like because Carlos may have grown up in a traditional household with a mother and a father and the man provided, and it just kind of looked like he plays along with these stereotypes. And I just would love for these people to present to us real Black families. There are, like, Married to Medicine is the best show for wanting a Black family, a Black marriage. And yeah, they have their ups and downs. Some of their husbands did bullshiggity, but the ladies gave them men consequences. Quad got a divorce. Jackie decided to give Curtis another chance, but we also saw Curtis, who really is not perfect, honey. I'm not at all like Curtis's biggest fan, but we did see him repent. We did see him show remorse. We did see him put in effort. I felt like Jackie should have made that nigga put in more effort. Like, he shouldn't have been able to move back in my opinion, until like late season 6 or season 7. She did it all in season 5. I thought it was too soon, right? But that's her marriage. But you saw, right, remorse from Curtis. You didn't see that with Dr. G. That's why Qua had to get rid of his ass. And that's why his woman, Letitia, going through a lot right now with his ass, because he still ain't changed. Latrice says, in reality, a lot of people don't want 9 to 5s. Letitia feels like she is justifying what she's saying. So Letitia begins lecturing her. And see, that's another thing. She's not going to take you seriously because she's looking at you in your personal life. Do you see what I'm saying? She may not really be saying nothing, but see, people be looking at you like, yeah, I don't really take this bitch serious, because who is she to say anything? She be taking this nigga back and he out cheating. You see what I'm saying? So Letitia tells her, I always ask myself, is this something that needs to be said? Is it something that needs to be said right now? Is it something that needs to be said by me? I loved all of that. She really is a good speaker. She just needs to convince the woman in the mirror that her worth, she's just worth so much more. Letitia could have a bomb-ass husband, not some raggedy-ass nigga like Glenn stepping out. She's a beautiful, well-spoken woman, and, you know, it's just really a shame, right? I love that Letitia told Latrice that when you go out and speak to people, you can't be doing all that drinking. Like, you can't have a whole fifth of Remy. Yeah, you can't do that because it's going to sabotage what you are trying to do. Trust me. Okay? Now, don't get me wrong. There may be some people out there that can handle their liquor. Okay? They may can handle it and still speak, and right? But yeah, you going through such a rough time, Latrice. It's just like you're trying to talk to people, but it's like you're still not healed. So it's not gonna land. You're doing all this drinking just to crap fit yourself into this marriage. Okay? And crap fitting, you guys, the actual definition is a word for the phenomenon where people that are traumatized in childhood get too good at fitting themselves to unacceptable situations and relationships and marriages. Crap fitting is to ignore red flags and fit yourself to unacceptable people and situations. So it doesn't just have to be a romantic partner. It could be you try to fit yourself in with toxic coworkers. You could try to fit yourself in any kind of dead-end relationship. Maybe a relationship with a family member, right? So Latrice says, well, girl, I'm not even going to sit here and let you try to tear me down. You want to know why she said that? Because her ass is already down. I have been noticing on these shows, it's giving Letitia Scott, where I told y'all, that's why I feel like Letitia Scott has the imposter syndrome, because it's like I already feel bad about myself, and as soon as I am presented with feedback or presented with a morsel of truth, I can't handle it, I can't deal with it, because I don't have a healthy relationship with self. Therefore, I'm going to take it personal, and I'm going to look at things as an attack when I am being held accountable and responsible for my actions. Letitia Scott from Love and Marriage Huntsville, she normally has her mom fighting her battles, right? Right. So, yeah. Latrice, she needs to grow up. Letitia tells Latrice she needs to take accountability for her actions. Latrice is in her confessional saying she always looked at Letitia like she was a big sister. I thought she was just a coworker. Okay, girl, which one is it? You sound confused, and God is not the author of confusion. You are. Okay, so when I look at Latrice, she drinks so much, you guys. And, I think she does not notice how badly she comes off. Okay, because she's such a different person from when she's sober to when she's drinking. She's still full of shit either way, but I'm just saying, like, she seems a bit more belligerent, when she's drinking. Latrice says she feels like she doesn't know how to trust because she feels like everybody is against her. No, honey, you sleeping with the enemy. And that's how a lot of women are. It's this for my man culture. As long as I got my man, yeah, we got ups and downs. Like, if y'all are mostly having downs, it may be time to let it go. Okay? And it's okay to walk away. It's okay. Whenever you say no to a relationship or marriage that doesn't serve you, you are saying yes to yourself. Letitia tells her we can move on from that. She tells her she went to see Essie, and she tells Latrice about the clip of the interview that she did where she said that her and all the girls are just her co-workers. Letitia said, honey, I thought that I was more than just a co-worker, and then Latrice backpedals and says, you are more than just a co-worker. See, it's such a discrepancy between who you are when you sober and when you've been drinking, and when you away from Letitia, you talking shiggity. And Latrice is acting like this, you guys, because she's hurt over her failing marriage. He is not pouring into her. He is not a soft place to land. So what a lot of women tend to do is, okay, ding, 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 they turn against the women that are in proximity to them instead of getting rid of the toxic man that is causing them all the drama, chaos, and confusion. I love that Letitia said, honey, I didn't win against a loyal friend for just a damn coworker. I know that's right, because Marie was telling you. But I think that Letitia probably felt like, well, Marie is just trying to get me to feel, how she feels about Latrice, So some of that is a little bit true, right? But Marie was right. It is what it is. Letitia says she's done defending Latrice. She says it has caused way too much friction between her and Marie. Letitia tells Latrice every single time she goes to bat for her, she ends up beating her with the same bat. It's the same shit with you and Glenn, though, Letitia. Same thing, but because he's a man, right, and he has a penis. And y'all know us women, honey, we love that D, especially some good D. Ugh, I wouldn't want no D, honey, from Glenn. Ugh. Honey, he out here sharing his D. Okay. So Latrice says she still feels like Letitia is trying to tear her down. Letitia says you out here trying to tear down other people. Latrice is like, who said that? Who I'm trying to tear down? Letitia says you said that Gucci don't sell properties and stuff like that. And Latrice says that Gucci came for her first, and it's like, girl. So Latrice did what most victims do, which is she wants somebody to run after her. She said, well, since I'm such the problem in this equation, then I'm going to eliminate myself, okay? Because she wants to hurt Letitia, because Letitia cares for her, even though she's trying to hold her accountable and responsible for her actions. Latrice says these bitches is not on her mind at one single moment of the day. Girl, you getting ready to cry, so that's a lie. Letitia asks her who's trying to attack you. See, when you're already fragile because this nigga didn't put you in lowest terms, you can't handle the truth. You're too fragile. Latrice compares her husband tearing her down to what Letitia did. And of course, what Letitia did is way worse because that's how weak bitches is. It's always, I want to hold the women accountable and not my man. So I love the, was it a tan jacket? Tan coat that Latrice had on and the bob. She looked real cute, but she a fool. She tells Letitia, I would like to thank you for your services. And she gets up. That's enough for me today. I bet, honey, the truth is too much. All right, you guys, that's all I have to say about that. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you thought about this here video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, brand new, and I will check you guys out in the next video.